these are my silicone ear molds. After I took an ear, made a plaster ear of it, then I actually casted it. This is a plaster ear. This is what it would probably look like. Then I cast this, and I made this. This is just regular, it's actually a clear silicone, which I actually tinted so I could see it better. And so it fits in this mold easy. What I did was I cut out keys, and then I poured the plaster on top of this. So those keys help me know how to put it in this mold so that I don't have any weird warpings or anything. So I just set it in here the way it's designed. You can actually, if you want, use a Sharpie and draw a line like right across here or something so that you know how it sets in there. But then what it comes out is you get a plaster ear mold that looks like this. I don't recommend having the keys already in it because every ear will have a different shape you make, will need special type of keys. So I don't recommend doing the keys. I already had them, and at the time I didn't think about that. But what we're going to do is we're not going to make another plaster one. What we're going to make is a reproductive, it's called reproduction plastic from Freeman's. So this is the mold out of here. These are the original keys. These small keys you see here, these little tiny ones, are actually for the silicone ear mold. When we make that, after I sculpt the ear out, I drill smaller holes so that the silicone keys in really nice and you get nice edges. So this is the reproduction plastic. It's called RePro 1 is what it's called from Freeman's. So this is what we're going to do. It's a 2-part mix, 1-to-1 ratio, and we're going to pour some ears in a second here. Okay, so I mixed up about 200 grams of each. I think that's how much it takes for one ear. If it doesn't, I can pour the rest in the other ear and I can just fill it up for the rest. The reproduction plastic, when you get it, it's separated and it's really hard to mix with a stick like this. So what I use is this guy here on my drill just to get it original, the first mixed well. And then after that, if you use it monthly, you can actually stir it and it'll do pretty well. So now I'm going to mix these two together. I got a pretty good working time. I think I got about, well, it's kind of cool in here, so maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour. So you just go ahead and start mixing, and then you can pour it. What I like to do is mix into 1 cup, and a lot of people do this for their chemicals. You mix into 1 cup really well, then you pour it back into the original cup just to get all that extra stuff out of there, and you have a more accurate 1-to-1 ratio. So I go like that. What I like to do is before I pour this in, I'm going to actually use a mold release. There's several types of mold releases you can use. I have used the Stoner brand. This is Stick Zero. It's a food grade, which is really nice. And also, I have used this Smooth-On's Universal Mold Release. I can get them both in town. This is at a hobby house. This is at fxsupply.com. So I just kind of spray it. I know you can't really get inside the ear too well, but get what you can. It just helps. I'll leave these down here so you can see them. Alright, now you want to pour these slowly so that it kind of creeps inside there and you try and not have air bubbles. And then once you get the initial pour in there, then you can fill the mold just normally. What I like to do is you kind of go like this, and it kind of like pushes it down a little bit more and fills the ear and helps eliminate air bubbles. Let it just kind of creep in there, nice and slow. I also do that with my silicone. I like to pour it slowly at first. Kind of rub it in a little bit like this around the edges just to kind of lift any bubbles up if there are any. Looks like I'm going to have some left over, so I will go ahead and, well, maybe not. Yeah, I got a little bit. So I'm going to take the other ear mold now and go ahead and fill this. Get in those cracks really well. Yeah, that's a perfect batch. So I'll let these sit for a couple hours and then we'll go from there. Okay, they're done. I think they're in here for about a half hour, 45 minutes. Peel them out gently. Pop it out there. It's a nice ear mold. It's got some bumpies that came off just fine. Looks good. Looks really nice. Don't you think? I like to also take a rasp, kind of clean off the bottom so that they don't have any sharp edges, and it sits flat on the table like that. It's a good looking ear. And we have two very nice ear molds. But first, I want to make sure that I make a line.
If you want to learn more about special effects makeup, please watch the next video in this series by effects artist Tom Jensen, and subscribe to Egghead FX.
Now these ears are ready